Okay, we've got a nice beef one pot stew or hot pot, whatever you want to call it, pot roast. Yeah, let's see how we did it. Okay, so we're going to do a beef pot roast or a brisket beef. So belt up, we're going to slow cook this and we're going to have it for tea today on Sunday, aren't we, Wilf? Okay, so we've got an Aberdeen Angus roasting joints. Don't know how much is here, probably about a kilo, a little bit more. And we're just going to season this heavily with salt and pepper and seal it off. Okay, so heavily seasoned with lots of salt and pepper. In with the pan with some olive oil. Turn that down as not to burn it. And let's get our piece of meat, stick that in on a medium heat, let's say. And we're going to remove that, take that out, look at that, nice. I'm just going to turn this temperature down a bit so we don't start burning the bottom of there. There's still some oil and meat juices, let's just take it off the heat a second. So, Wilfie, tell them why we seal the beef. Well, Daddy, it's not just to keep the juices in, that's not the reason why you seal the meat. It's because of some effect that you have on the meat when, I can't remember what it's called, but it's just to make it, give it an umami taste. It's not just to keep the juices in. Thank you, Wilf. Thanks very much. So now we've got about 4 carrots, 2 small onions and some garlic. So let's put us back on the heat here. Whack these in. Vegetables purposely quite chunky because this is going to slow cook for probably 5 or 6 hours maybe. So just so they don't break up into mush. In the meantime, I'm going to go in with some tomato puree. Probably about a good amount, probably about 1/3 of a tube, and also some beef stock. I haven't got any decent stock at the moment, so I'll probably use all 4 of those stock cubes. Okay, so we're going to cook that tomato paste out and the stock cube, and then we're just going to start to make a gravy. I'm putting some water in. Oh, lost a carrot. And some red wine. I've not put any salt in yet. We'll do that at the end. Got here beef steak Shiraz, Montepulciano. Let's go with that. Let's use half a bottle. Let's get that onto decent heat. Too early to be having a glass of it. Hey. Also going in with some garlic powder. Also need some herbs. Let's see what we've got. Got to be thyme, hasn't it? Got to be thyme. Beef, thyme. Let's have a little bit of thyme and a little bit of rosemary. Also just going to put a tin of Italian tomatoes in there. You can't taste too much tomato at the end, so don't worry about that. In with some water. Let's get that on high now and get the heat up to temperature. Then we'll dunk our meat in and we'll get it in the oven because people are getting a bit irate, aren't they? Okay, so the beef's submerged Do make sure you get the water or the liquid up to temperature before you put it in the oven, otherwise it will never get up to temperature. So we're boiling up, partly submerged, lid goes on, and we're going to move this across to the oven. Into the oven, 140. We'll see you in 5 hours. Come on, feed time. Okay, so we're about halfway through now. I've just took this out. Some of the grease off the meat is starting to rise to the top, so we'll skim that off soon. Also just going to take this out before it all just turns into brisket and put it in, dice it into pieces and put it back in, otherwise it just all will just fall in to the sauce all shredded. So I'm going to cut this into chunks so it stays intact. Okay, so it's looking something like that. Lovely. Just going back in the pan for probably another 1.5 hours. So I've just took some of the grease off the top of off the dish. It's come out of the meat, stirred it up. What I'm going to do now, put it back in the oven. We're about 3 hours into the 5, probably a little bit longer. I'm going to take the lid off now and try and reduce down some of this liquid and intensify the flavour a bit. Okay, so I probably just left that a little bit too long, but maybe not. All the sauce has pretty much dried up. Whoa, which is what I wanted. We'll just finish it off with some just some finishing flavours, which we're going to use balsamic vinegar, Liam Perrins, just a splash of both. Let it rest for 20 minutes or so, serve it up. And there you go, beef Hotpot or beef Crockpot, whatever you want to call it. Lovely, lovely, dead tasty. Cheers.